welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you how to make homemade vanilla extract. The cool thing about making your own extracts is that you can just keep refilling them, basically. You get a really good vanilla bean. These are an organic grade A vanilla bean. They're not cheap, but I think there's 10 here. Over the long term, this is a little bit of an investment, but over the long term, it pays for itself and then some because I can keep reusing this. So let's get into it and I'll talk you through how to make this basically a bottomless bottle of vanilla extract. I already have some made actually, but I'm gonna make a little bit more with these because I just want to start a new batch. The other one I have is 3 years old, I think. I'm gonna drop most of these into the bottle just like they are because I want most of these to just stay intact, and then a few of them I'm gonna cut in half. And the reason I do this because the whole beans will not degrade as quickly as the ones that are gonna be cut. So I'm actually gonna cut these in half and then down the center like this, and then you can see that like I didn't cut it all the way through, I just cut it on one side. See if I can get this open and show you the middle. Maybe I didn't cut it like I thought I did. I don't want to go all the way through. Oh, it stopped. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it goes all the way through, but okay, there we go. So you can kind of see, is the lighting good enough? I'm not sure. Anyway, so I'm going to open this up, and then I'm going to take my knife and run it down the center. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want some of the vanilla beans, and you probably don't even have to do this part, but see how the little beans, little tiny vanilla seeds. This is actually a pod, and these are the seeds. So I'm going to put this in a funnel because when I pour the alcohol in, I want it to wash all of that down into the bottle. So I'm just going to keep cutting these. I may not even cut as many as I have out here. I may only cut 3 of them. The other one's in whole. And you really don't even have to do this. You can just put the vanilla pods in whole, and you have to let it sit for about 6 to 8 weeks before you can start using it. And the longer it sits, the better. And then as you use your vanilla, you can just pour more alcohol into your bottle, let it sit for a while. And what I do is once it's reached the potency that I want, I will pour it out, some of it out of this bottle into a smaller one that I'll use for baking, and then I'll refill this and let it sit. So I have the other one to use while this is kind of renewing itself, you know, getting all that flavor into the alcohol again for use later. And like I said, over the course of time, you're saving a lot of money because real vanilla extract, like the good ones, can be really expensive, and they don't have the store brands that are cheaper don't really have as great a flavor. If you like to bake, you really like that vanilla flavor when you're making something with it, this is really the best way to do it. And the little beans inside will come out too as this sits. And every so often you want to put it somewhere where you can remember to take it out and give it a shake, just to help it mix up a little bit more and diffuse throughout the alcohol. So your ratio that you want for your beans to alcohol, hold on. The ratio that you want for your vanilla bean to alcohol, especially if it's a grade A, you can do about 5 to 6 beans per cup of alcohol. I have 10 here, so I'm gonna put 2 cups of alcohol, and I'm actually gonna let it sit a little longer than just 8 weeks. I'll probably let it sit for 10 to 12 weeks before I start using it. And that'll make it stronger also. So, all right, let me get a measuring cup. So I'm using this premium small batch bourbon from Costco. I am not a drinker. I do not know what this tastes like, but any good bourbon will do. You just want it to have a rich, sweet flavor. And my husband's not a big drinker either, but he knows bourbon and whiskey, so he said this one's a good one. So you don't want to go too cheap on it because it will affect the flavor of the vanilla. You could also use vodka. I have done my previous batch is done with vodka. Well, it started out vodka and then I switched. I started adding bourbon to it after a year because I read that the bourbon gives it a better flavor. So, all right, so I'm gonna pour in my 2 cups of bourbon. I'm pouring too fast. I don't know if this is gonna hold 2 cups. Maybe just, no? Okay. I think I may have over poured that anyway, because this is a 16-ounce bottle, so. Let's pour that bourbon back into the original container. Shake it, shaky, shaky, shaky. That's what it looks like. So I'm gonna label it and I'll put the date on it somewhere. And just let it sit for a while until it's ready. That's it. Super easy. And like I said, once I'm ready to use it, I'll pour out probably half of it into a smaller bottle. Use it, you know, because you only use a couple teaspoons at a time when you're making something. And then I'll refill it, fill it back up with the bourbon, and let it sit while I'm using the smaller bottle. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. Give this video a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.